The original Sonic trilogy has a great story, one that is better than the sum of its parts. In Sonic 1, Sonic aims to stop Dr. Eggman, who has captured his friends and uses their energy to power his robots to help him find the Chaos Emeralds hidden away on South Island. Sonic collects the emeralds and defeats the Doctor. In Sonic 2, Sonic heads to West Side Island. There he meets a two-tailed fox boy named Miles Prower, or Tails because of his two tails. Tails is inspired by Sonic's effortless confidence and begins following him, hoping to gain some courage of his own and help the Blue Hedgehog stop Dr. Eggman, who was searching for the emeralds to power his Death Egg. Sonic destroys the Death Egg, causing it to land on Angel Island. There, Eggman encounters Knuckles, the last remaining Echidna and sole protector of the Master Emerald. Eggman convinces Knuckles that Sonic and Tails are after the Sacred Gem, and the two form a team to stop them. A few days later, Tails tells Sonic of a massive energy reading his radar picked up, and the two make their way to Angel Island to battle Dr. Eggman and the new face. The story ends with Sonic and Tails saving the day once again, gaining Knuckles' trust and returning the Master Emerald back to its rightful place. As I said before, the trilogy story is incredible. Each story connects to the previous arc and leaves room for expansion in the next iteration before wrapping up everything nicely in an action-packed finale that makes you sit back and feel good as the credits roll. The story isn't this complex, multifaceted, interlaced conflict with 3 million moving parts that all connect in some ways, and wraps up well by the end. The story does deal with topics such as eco-terrorism, nature versus machine, and maybe even imperialism if you want to dig deeper, but the way these themes are presented in the story are very easy to pick up and understand, especially if you look at the way the levels are laid out. Sonic 1 and Sonic 3 do this well. In Sonic 1, Sonic starts in the lush hills and mountainous region of Green Hill, then navigates through the ruins of Marble Zone to get to the Spring Yard, on the outskirts of an unnamed city. Near the outskirts of the city, Sonic finds the Labyrinth Zone, a place full of imagery that keys you into a deeper story of South Island's past. Sonic makes his way through the dangerous labyrinth and ends up in a construction area near the city in Starlight Zone. This construction area was built by Eggman and his robots and leads to the evil Doctor's hellscape, the Scrap Brain Zone, where Sonic defeats Eggman and restores peace to South Island. The level progression matches the story thematically, and it also makes sense geographically as well. Sonic 3 uses level transitions after every zone that explains how Sonic and Tails get to different areas of the island. So while you could say that it's random that Sonic jumps off Flying Battery and happens to land in Sandopolis, it also makes sense because they could have landed anywhere including Sandopolis, as it's near the Lava Reef Zone that holds the Hidden Palace at its core, and Eggman was headed in that direction looking to revive the Death Egg and steal the Master Emerald under Knuckles' nose. Sonic 2 doesn't commit to this level progression fully, as it immediately goes from the lush landscapes of the Emerald Hills to the chemical plant and then aquatic ruins to Casino Night. It does well with level progression matching the themes of the story from Hilltop Zone onward, but to me, something like Emerald Hill to Aquatic to Mystic Cave, Hilltop, then Casino, Chemical Plant, Oil Ocean, and then the rest of the game would have made more sense. Someone might point out the transition from Marble Garden to Casino Night Zone in Sonic 3 as a weird progression, but at least there are mountains that you can see in the background that shows that the level is a city within the mountains between Marble Garden and Ice Cap. Regardless of the level structure, the original Sonic trilogy is one of the best looking sets of games ever. Sonic 1 at the time was praised for how great it looked, and the team made it a point to make the next two games look even better. In my opinion, I like the aesthetics of Sonic 1 more than Sonic 2. Sonic 2 is graphically better, but nothing in it matches Green Light and Starlight Zone's whole vibe for me. Sonic 3 is the best looking of the three games. The sprites are more detailed, the more expressive, level designs and backgrounds are dense, and the effort to include more cutscenes adds to the game's overall presentation. Even the backgrounds help the storytelling. They do well with showcasing Angel Island as this land of diverse biomes. I think this contrasts well with Sonic 1 and 2 that feature landscapes that blend in well with each other if you take out the mechanical theme levels. Sonic 3 aims to show that there's something more with Angel Island than what we may see throughout the game. I have an entire theory video breaking this down, so go give that a watch. The music of the first two Sonic games was composed by Masato Nakamura of popular Japanese pop band Dreams Come True. Some were inspired by songs the band had made previously, such as Green Hill and the ending of Sonic 2 based off their well-known song Street Dreams. The songs of Sonic 1 and 2 are much more poppy in their sound. Nothing in these games is as heavy as Sonic 3's music. The music in Sonic 1, for example, is on the softer side. It's much more melodic. Sonic 2's music uses more bass, which is Nakamura's instrument of choice. Sonic 3's style is just completely different. It's always been a bit of a mystery as to who exactly developed what tracks for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but we do know that people like Jun Senoue and Brad Buxer worked on this soundtrack. Senoue's preference for heavy rock music can be heard in music like the Death Egg Zone's music, some of the Act 2 music of zones like Angel Island, Sandopolis, and Doomsday Zone. Brad Buxer likely composed songs like Launch Base, and more obviously Ice Cap, which takes direct inspiration from an unreleased song from a band Brad was once a part of. The music from Sonic 3's ending apparently is what inspired Michael Jackson's song Stranger in Moscow, as Brad Buxer was part of Michael Jackson's team of composers who worked on Sonic 3 at the time. The music in Sonic 3 mostly does away with the pop sound and dives more into hip hop and rock. This leads to a generally heavier sound, and I think it's great. When getting the footage for this game, I got lost in the music as I played. You can feel the power struggle between the heroes and villains in this battle for Angel Island through the music, especially in later levels like Sky Sanctuary and Death Egg. The soundtrack is so fire that even some of the original beta music sounds great if you go back and give them a listen. The gameplay is the same between all three games. Sonic 1 doesn't have the spin dash, so players have to rely on momentum to roll into a ball to get past certain obstacles or experience the selling point of the game, speed. Well, it's speed about 50% of the time. Sonic 1 is the traditional platformer of the trilogy. Promises of an exhilarating adventure are halted by stages like Marble and Labyrinth Zone. The rest of the time though, it's a better mix of both elements. Sonic 2 refines the speed by giving you instant access with the inclusion of the spin dash. This makes it easier to travel up slopes and allows for level design to have more transitions between top and bottom paths. Sonic 3 takes what Sonic 2 did and simply applies it to more characters. Tails and Knuckles have the same moveset as Sonic. All three can do the spin dash, and pressing the jump button in midair allows you to use the insta shield as Sonic, fly as Tails, or glide with Knuckles. Since Sonic doesn't have those other abilities, the trade-off is that he can use the effects of the elemental shields while the other two can't. Knuckles completely owns this game. The ability to climb up walls leads to an unprecedented amount of exploration to his levels. Knuckles and Tails have access to different routes that otherwise might be impossible to get to with Sonic alone. Because of this, levels in Sonic 3 are quite large, offering a myriad of chances to take different pathways and find goodies, and special stage rings to collect the Chaos Emeralds, which differs from Sonic 1 and 2, where you need at least 50 rings by the end of the stage or before hitting a checkpoint respectively. I can't even begin to describe how much I love the immense size of Sonic 3 stages. The stage maps can be found on Sonic Retro. I used to sink hours into this game as a kid, and coming back to it all these years later just reaffirms how great this game is to me. In combination, the classic Sonic trilogy is strong. This is the shit that formed my fandom at such a young age. The multiple playable characters, the music, the visuals, the story are all there, and it's well done, which is the best thing about all three games. It's not super simple, it's effective, it's intentional, but not unnecessarily complex. The classic trilogy is exactly what it needed to be, and what it is one of the best series of platforming games of all time. Individually, they may have their problems, but unified, it's one giant masterpiece. This segment was taken from a much longer video where I review and rank the other Sonic trilogies, so if you want to hear my thoughts about the Advanced series and the Rider series, go give that video a watch. I love the classic Sonic trilogy, so tell me what y'all think. Shout out to you for watching. See ya.